What's good? What's good with everybody? We are here on a Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday, boy. All right, we here on a Tuesday. Birthday on C45, man. 345. Thanks everybody that's been watching. Thanks everybody that's been downloading the podcast on Buzzsprout. There's your Buzzsprout information. If you would like to get the audio of the podcast, this is for the audio, of course. If you use any of the platforms on the screen there, Apple, Spotify, whatever, the podcast is on there. You can just go to this website. What's happening? Burb Jones 345, man. Shout out to everybody who's been downloading from the Buzzsprout, who's been watching on TikTok. We trying to expand this thing. So, we're going to keep them coming. We're in the middle of summer, so basketball is over. And football is not started. So sports news is sparse. I'm dissecting, trying to get you what I can. Um, the NBA draft just happened, so we are turn my volume down here. It seems that I am louder than I should be. Okay, the NBA draft just started, so we are going to talk about that, and we got some trades in the NBA, so we're going to talk about that. And that's about it. Um, during the summer, the sports, there's not much to talk about. I don't do tennis and I don't report on golf, even though I do respect them sports in all of their glory, and I will watch them. I like golf. I do occasionally catch a tennis match, but I do not have enough knowledge to report on them. I'm really working on golf. I like golf. I know the players' names, and I watch it, but I'm not going to do a podcast on it. What we got for you today? We got the NBA draft. Of course, Cooper Flag went number one. Dylan Harper, Ron Harper's son, going number two. And here's my opinion on that. Dylan Harper, great player, great numbers. The thing about that is he averaged 22 points, 5 rebounds, almost 5 assists, 1 steal. The guy's the truth. The thing is that the Spurs have too many guards and they have too many young guards, in my opinion. You have De'Aaron Fox, you have Stephon Castle, and now you just drafted Dylan Harper. So you have two guys who are very young and most likely want to start. You have a superstar point guard who definitely is starting, and I'm just wondering how they are going to allocate those minutes. Someone's going to obviously be sitting, who I'm assuming Dylan Harper is going to be the one coming off the bench. But how are you going to do that lineup? Stephen Castle is not a shooting guard. He's a point guard. De'Aaron Fox is a point guard. So, one of these guys is going to have to play the off guard or something. I'm just curious as how the San Antonio is going to do this. I think they might have went a little bit too guard heavy. But then again, they probably just picked the best in the draft. Dylan Harper was probably fit for number two, so they picked the best they could get. But I think San Antonio has too many guards. I'm interested to see how these minutes are going to play out. VJ Edgecombe is a player I didn't know about who is really good, and he's I think a good pick for the Sixers. He's a athletic guard who's a two-way guard, can score and play defense. He can hit the three. I think that the Sixers, I think they desperately needed somebody to go next to Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey has no, excuse me. Tyrese Maxey does not have significant help at the shooting guard position, and he hasn't. They rotated in Kelly Oubre. Old boy played last year before he got hurt. That rookie was playing last year. I forget his name. But Tyrese Maxey has not had much help at the shooting guard position, and so recently, and so this is a very good draft pick for the 76ers, and I'm really interested to see what he can do. He should start day one. He's a two-way guard. He had a very good first summer league game, like 28 points or something. So the Sixers did good with VJ Edgecombe. Maybe being terrible this year was good for them because this is a very good draft pick at number 3. Now, this is all still going to be a very moot point if Joel Embiid cannot stay on the floor because Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe are not going to take the Sixers to deep in the playoffs without Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid still needs to be a major part of this for this to move forward. And the dude just can't stay healthy to save his life. But regardless of all that, this is a good pick for the 76ers. A lot of people were confused with Charlotte picking Knuppel over, I don't even know if I said bro's last name right. Knuppel? Is it Knuppel? Over Ace Bailey. And I think they did that because of position requirements. You have to remember that Charlotte has Miles Bridges, and Charlotte has God damn, I can't remember anybody's name no more. Oh boy, Charlotte has they just got the Brandon Miller. Whew. Boy, oh boy. Charlotte, you gotta remember, Charlotte has Brandon Miller and Charlotte has Miles Bridges. And so those are two positions that play the same. Those are two people that play the same position as Ace Bailey. So why would you draft Ace Bailey to play the same position as Miles Bridges, or to play the same position as damn, I forgot boy's name again. As Brandon Miller. So Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges both play the forward. So why would you draft Ace Bailey to play the forward? And I think that's why they skipped over Ace Bailey. A lot of people seem to be confused about that. I'm not. Colin Knuppel can play the shooting guard next to LaMelo Ball. And, that's a better fit, in my opinion. And I think Colin Knuppel can give them some very good. He's a laser from 3. And so I think that he can give them a lot of help from 3, because LaMelo Ball be breaking threes like water, buddy. That dude, he'll go 1 for 10 from 3 some games. So I think they brought in Colin Knuppel for shooting, and he can play next to LaMelo Ball, as opposed to Ace Bailey would be getting in the way of positions here. And so I think that is the reasoning that a lot of people didn't understand. Hey, Utah took Ace Bailey, and there was a lot of drama behind Ace Bailey. There's still a lot of drama behind Ace Bailey. Apparently, was on the sidelines with his agent's son. Utah had to tell his agent's son he couldn't stand on the sidelines like a coach. Ace Bailey didn't do any workouts for any teams. Apparently, he didn't immediately go to Utah after drafted. It took him a couple days. There's just a lot of drama surrounding Ace Bailey, but that, we're not going to take away from the potential of Ace Bailey because of drama. The guy can play in one summer, and he had a bad summer league game for the first summer league game, but that does not dictate. Summer league doesn't dictate much, so we're not going to look too far into that. I'm not going to go too far down this draft because we're already 8 minutes into the podcast, but I think that the top 5 teams did a good job here, as long as Ace Bailey, doesn't have drama surrounding him his entire rookie season. I think the top 5 teams did a good job. I'd like to see how San Antonio handles that guard position. We're going to move on to Jonas Valanciunas. Jonas Valanciunas has an interesting situation here because he is trying to leave America to go play in Europe, and the Nuggets are not going to allow it. So the Denver Nuggets have the Denver Nuggets have signed or traded for Jonas Valanciunas. The deal was Dario Saric to the Kings and Jonas Valanciunas as a backup option to Nikola Jokic, which is a good move. Jokic clearly doesn't have a good backup. It's DeAndre Jordan. That's not working. DeAndre Jordan's not good enough anymore. They needed a backup for Jokic who could score, who can shoot, who can rebound. This is a good move for Denver. Apparently, Valanciunas is not that interested in playing in America anymore, and a country in Germany has offered him 13 million, while his current NBA contract is only 10 million a year. The team in Germany has offered him 13 million a year. I can't even pronounce their name. The Panathinaikos. I can't pronounce that, bro. It's a German team. I think it's in Germany that wants to pay him 13 million a year. His current NBA contract is 10 million a year. There's only a $3 million difference a year. Apparently, that's enough to make him want to leave America. Denver has rights to him in his final 2 years on his contract and said that he is absolutely not leaving America, and they expect him to play. And I'm with Denver. I finish your contract, dude, then go off to wherever you want to go off to. I mean, you're talking $3 million difference here. Yes, $3 million is a lot of money, but $10 million a year is not no chump change. Just finish your contract out, bro. I mean, if he actually plays well for Denver, they have a chance. Denver went back and got Bruce Brown, and they went back and got somebody. They went back and got a couple guys to fill this roster out. So, Denver has they're trying to come back strong, and they expect to be championship caliber like they were a couple years ago. So that includes Jonas playing. And in my opinion, I think you're going to see him out there as the backup this season. Denver's not going to allow it. Norman Powell and the Clippers have parted ways. As a Clippers fan, it is a bittersweet moment. But the Clippers got John Collins in return. Now, the Clippers gave a second-round pick and Norman Powell away to the Heat. And the Jazz gave the Clippers John Collins, and the Heat get Kevin Love and Kyle Anderson. So the Clippers gave away a pick and Norman Powell. I'm not fond of them giving away that pick. I feel like Norman Powell was enough for John Collins. I'm not fond of them throwing in the pick with it. But the Clippers have been in dire need of a power forward. They haven't had a good one. They'd be running Kawhi at power forward, and he is not a power forward. So this fills that need. They can probably fill the shooting guard need in another way with Powell being gone, with someone else off the bench. This fills that need. With Brook Lopez and Zoo and Collins, that's a lot of interior defense. So this will help that. Norman Powell goes to Miami, and Miami needs someone to go with Tyler Hero, so this will help that. It's a win-win for both teams. I'm not really worried about the Jazz. Kevin Love and Kyle Anderson went to the Jazz. I think Kevin Love might have 1 year max left in him before he probably quits, especially being on the Jazz if he doesn't ask for a buyout. I think that the Clippers, with what they did with bringing over Brook Lopez and Collins, have done well this offseason, shoring up defense. Collins is a good offensive player. He's a stretch player, so is Brook Lopez. Those are two big men who can hit the three. So, not bad. They gave up a second-round pick, probably a pick they thought they weren't going to get. Ty Lue doesn't like to play rookies anyways, so they probably didn't feel bad about giving up the second-round pick. As far as the trade goes, I think the Heat and Clippers got, they got a good deal. Utah got a good deal out of the trade, but Kevin Love is not going to, his career is over. Kevin Love's career is over. So one of the two people Utah got is not about to be there. Maybe they want, maybe they want to get rid of John Collins' contract. I don't know. But Kevin Love's career is over. They got a second-round pick. So maybe they're looking at it more like that. Kyle Anderson, second-round pick. But Kevin Love is not going to do much if he even gets on the floor. The Jazz have a lot of forwards. So they got Markkanen. They just got Ace Bailey. They have a lot of forwards on that team, a lot of wing forwards. So that's if Kevin Love even sees the floor. I think they're just going to pay him money to go home. And that's what I think of that. We're going to talk about the 2025 ESPY nominees real fast. This really doesn't mean anything. It's just a fun thing I'm going to run through just to see who's in the ESPY nominees. We're not going to do them all. Just the football, basketball, type related ones. Best athlete for men's sports: Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, SGA, or Shohei. I gotta go with Saquon Barkley here because of the performance he put in last year. I gotta go with Saquon Barkley. We're talking about best athlete, a man who's doing hurdles over people while running the ball. We're gonna go with Saquon Barkley here. SGA is great, but he also has a really, really great team. I mean, the guy's great. He just won a championship, but so did Saquon Barkley. Josh Allen is great. No, he's not Saquon Barkley as far as athleticism. And Shohei is awesome. Shohei is the current best baseball player in the game, probably, maybe tied with Judge. But we're talking about athlete. An athlete, no one's running that field doing what Saquon Barkley is doing. Shohei just got back to pitching recently. He was a DH the past couple years. Best athlete in women's sports: Simone Biles, gymnast; Sydney McLaughlin, track and field; Gabby Thomas, track and field; Asia Wilson, the Aces. I don't even know who to pick for this. I do watch Asia Wilson. I know how good Simone Biles is. I do not watch track and field. So we're going to skip that one because I don't really know who to pick for that. Breakthrough athlete: Cooper Flagg, Chloe Humphrey of lacrosse, rugby, and I want to know what they mean by breakthrough athlete. Cooper Flagg is the number 1 pick. Paul Skeens is having an excellent season even though the team sucks. Paul Skeens is just great every game. Even with a bad team, he's still great. On a good team, he would be perfect. And I have to pick him because he has shown that he is awesome even on a bad team. Let's see. What other one can we go over? Best championship performance: Simone Biles, 2024 Olympics; Stephen Curry. The Stephen Curry, and then you got Freddie Freeman, World Series; Rory McIlroy wins the Masters. Stephen Curry in that Olympics was godly. Stephen Curry in that Olympics against France was godly. And there's just, to bring that gold medal home, them boys had to work. Steph hitting that shot over them 3 people over Wemby. The man played like a basketball god. And he will probably win that category. Best play: Saquon Barkley's backwards hurdle. Tyrese Halliburton calls game. Ooh, that Tyrese Halliburton calling game in that shot. I think it was against the Cavs. Woo, boy. Sabrina Ionescu, that logo game 3 winner she hit in that finals game was sweet, buddy. It was just a silent, sweet killer. Saquon Barkley doing a backwards hurdle over somebody is absolutely insane. And I think that's what's going to win. We see last-second shots all the time. Tyrese's last-second shot and Sabrina's last-second shot were awesome. But we've seen that before. We don't see backwards hurdles. And that's the answer to that category. Best team: there's too many teams here. Eagles, Thunder, Buckeyes. Out of all these teams on here, the Buckeyes had to bash through elite college talent to win that championship. They took down the top of the top to win that championship. Boy. Best college athlete, men's sports: Cooper Flagg. I'm not hip to the Wyatt Hendrickson dude. I think I watched one match with him indirectly. It was on ESPN or something. Travis Hunter. Hunter winning the Heisman, playing both sides of the ball. I gotta go with that, man. Nobody plays both sides of the ball anymore. Hunter winning the Heisman do it. That's the best college athlete of the past year. Cooper Flagg was great. He was not no Travis Hunter. Um, Best NFL player, all all together, it's gonna be either Lamar Jackson or Saquon Barkley. Last year I'm leaning towards Saquon. The amount of yards he ran and everything he did, his team won the championship. I have to probably go with Saquon here with Lamar second. Best MLB player, this is between Shohei and Judge. Freddie did hit that grand slam in the World Series. Shohei and Judge are your two best MLB players. Who's the best from last year? Probably Shohei. Don't do NHL. Best NBA player, Giannis, SGA, Jokic, or Tatum. This is rough. Jokic, to me, is the best all-around NBA player. SGA won MVP because of where he took his team last year. The best player, stat-wise, is Jokic. And that's hands down, without a doubt. And I'm not going to argue about it. The best WNBA player, if we're talking last year, I probably got to go with Asia Wilson here. She just had a great season last year. This year is probably Nafisa Collier, but last year it was probably Asia Wilson. I'm not going to do driving. I do watch F1 racing. I don't watch NASCAR, so I can't comment on that. I don't watch UFC enough to comment on that. I'm not going to comment on boxing. So I think we have finished here. Those are who I think should win the ESPY categories. We have a 22-minute podcast for y'all today. Thanks for sitting around. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Burb Jones, B45. Burb Jones on X. 3_4_5_ sports.talk on TikTok. We love y'all, man. Y'all like my own air sign? But bow on air sign, baby. My own air sign, you can find it in the TikTok shop. Go to TikTok, go to shop, you can find your own air sign for $19.99, man. Here is your promo. Go get you some tacos today. And remember, make sure your tacos are made by the real Mexicanos out there. Go support your closest Mexican restaurant and go get you some real tacos out there. Bird 245. We out of here, man.